So we left the Sosta that we've been staying on for 2 nights, which was very nice actually, near the sea. Anyway, so now we're heading for an area where they have the Truly houses. So looking forward to seeing that, and then we are going to move on to a place called Matera, which is where all the caves are, and apparently is the 3rd oldest city in the world. So we've just parked here just to go and see these Truly houses. This is apparently dedicated to motorhomes. I think they need to get some of the sizings a little bit better. We've fitted in there okay. So 24 hours is €9. You can stay over here obviously overnight. Apparently it is a bit noisy. We're not going to stay here, we're just popping in to see these Truly houses and then heading off to Matera. So we've only paid €4 for 2 hours. So we've got one little Truly house just there, but the rest of them we're heading to up there.
Truly House is a traditional interior region dry stone house with a conical roof. They were mainly built as storehouses or temporary field shelters, but here they were built as permanent houses. Their building heyday was in the 19th century. Many theories remain behind their construction. The most likely was due to taxation. They could be dismantled quickly when and if the tax inspectors arrived.
So we've just stepped into this Truly shop, and there's a lovely little courtyard, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Lovely little courtyard. And the chap was just telling us that it was his grandparents' house 45 years ago, and then he took it on, and it's been a shop for 37 years. Look at these roofs, aren't they great?
Traditionally, the Truly houses were built using drywall masonry, although today they have been cemented together. The roofs contain 2 skins, an inner skin of wedge-shaped limestone, capped with limestone slabs. The pinnacles on top vary and are individual to the stonemason that built the buildings. Essentially, they're their signature.
So many different ways to go.
Kind of leading out, isn't it? The Truly houses are hard to heat in the winter, but stay cool in the hot summer months.
So we just come across this Truly church. It's rather a long one. We'll have a look inside. See what it's like inside.
The Truly Church in Alta, or Anthony's Church, is a one-of-a-kind and was built in just 14 months and only opened to the public in 1927. The church was dedicated to Jesus Christ, King of the universe. Just a little garden project for you. If you've got some old pallets, this is what you can do with them. Make a little bench for your garden.
Wow, this is a really lovely town and very clean, beautiful.
Between World War II and the 80s, the Truly houses were seen as a symbol of poverty and backwardness had led to hundreds being destroyed and replaced with modern buildings.
How wonderful is this?
The Truly houses could not be built as multi-storey buildings due to their thick stone walls, so ill suited to high density living, although they were extremely flexible.
Look at them, just hundreds and hundreds of them. So we found this little pathway. Weren't sure it was going to lead into somebody's back garden. It's not, it's leading down to the main road. Oh, how lovely is this place? Back to where we started. Marvellous. Fantastic, look at this, this is amazing. This is like it's a motorhome. I don't think the dog's the driver. How fantastic is this? It's amazing. Got the washing hanging out.
Bikes underneath that.
Oh yeah. Czechoslovakia. Got a wood burner as well. How fantastic is that? Brilliant. So we're leaving the area of that lovely city with the Truly
After about 1
houses.
kilometre, enter a roundabout.
But there are still loads of these Truly houses dotted around on our way out. So we're now heading for a place called Matera, which is where the caves are. But still, you can see lots of Truly houses. You can see, I'll point out to you, some are lived in, some they've done up in there, still in their garden, and some are just left falling to pieces, unfortunately.
Good morning, we're here in Matera. We stayed at a quarry last night. We arrived here in the dark and we're just having a look around to see where we parked up now before heading off to look at all the cave dwellings. Easy for me to say.
So we arrived here in the dark last night. It was a horrendous drive here, due to the roads being quite narrow and lorries hacking the other way, and we couldn't get over any further, so it was quite worrying. But anyway, we arrived in the pitch black, so I had to wander around to see, with the torch, to see where to park up, what was level, and I actually climbed up on this little bank just there in front. No idea, shining the torch over, I had no idea there was this massive drop. A couple of more steps and I would have gone. How ridiculous. So we've got some ducks down there. Yeah, so lots of sculptures around here. So we'll just show you this one. So we're just having a little wander around, not going too far, just have a look, and then we're going to go on to the actual caves and this quirky city that we'd like to see. But look at this one, this one's great. So there's a squashed car. There we are. How great is that? That's good. Lots of displays. So obviously that's where they would have cut all the stone from. Really interesting. Didn't know this was here, but we wouldn't, would we? Turned up in the dark. So they've just left these to show that these were what they were cutting out and the size of it. As you can see, all the lines in the rock over there, how they did it. Clever. but I've never wandered around a quarry like this. Interesting. So look at all the lines.
Looking down on the quarry now from a different angle, it's absolutely incredible the amount of blocks of rock that they must have taken out of this mountainside here. They've taken the whole mountain away. Just at the back end of this quarry now, quite interesting, you can see where they've actually cut up to on the rock face here, and this actual section which we're looking through is where it's given away at some point and dropped down there. But they've literally taken as much out of this mountainside as they could have done.
So we're just going to have a wander up here, see what's up here before we head off to the city in the caves. That looks an old factory disused now, doesn't it, over there? So one of the churches in Matera. Lots of skeletons on the door. Look at these hats. I keep saying to mine, I want to buy one of these caps. So we're just going to have a wander down here. This looks lovely. Coming down here.
City of Stone.
City of Stone.
Looks like this was all built from the quarry that we stayed on last night.
Yeah, I don't think all of it would have been, would it? This is really higgledy-piggledy. Look at it.
Matera is a city built on a rocky outcrop and includes the Sassi area, a massive complex of cave dwellings built into the mountainside. It's often overlooked by tourists, but it is one of Italy's most unique destinations.
Must be some sort of cafe here or something.
Matera is an ancient city. It's the third oldest city in the world after Aleppo and Jericho, and dates back over 10,000 years.
Through the curtain. Oh wow, this is massive. They know we've arrived.
Dear visitors, welcome to one of the most important Rupestrian sites from life in Matera in times gone by. Here in the Sasso Barisano, the skilled craftsman Eustachio Rizzi and his sons have attempted to bear witness to a past filled with memories and emotions. This unique place, entitled C'era una volta, meaning once upon a time, uses furnishings and sculptures to portray and illustrate life in the home in Matera up until the end of the 60s. As you can see, the room is dug out of the calcareous rock. The only part which is built is the entrance where there is the door, which allowed a little air to circulate as well as the window. The door in this case was the only opening which let in light. The skilled craftsmen have created works of art which are represented by the unique sculptures in tuff that symbolise in part the crafts, trades and life in the Sassi of Matera. These works of art have been arranged inside the dwelling as they were in the past, where everyone set aside a small space for their domestic activities. In this typical dwelling, looking from the left corner, you can see 3 rooms. There is the kitchen area, the stall where there is the donkey and some farmyard animals, and the area where there is a double bed, a cradle for the baby, and a raised bed, as well as a small space that was used for the toilet. In that period, the houses didn't have sewers. It has taken the artists about 1 year to create these works of art, skillfully using their tools. And their facial expressions, fixed emotions and suffering seem to recount a way of life from the past. On the left, next to a man sitting at the table, we can see the mouth of a cistern which provided the family with rainwater thanks to an important system of outside underground channels. There are no springs in the Sassy because the city stands on a rocky karst area called the Motorhome Plateau. Again, by the mouth of the well, we can see the head of the family after a hard day's work, sitting at the table with his wife watching him furtively. On the table we can see the typical products from the land, such as pulses and cereals, and bread of course. Women were very skilled at kneading to make bread, pasta and focaccia. Moving along, we can see a donkey in the stall area. The donkey was used as a means of transport to reach the countryside, on the outskirts of the town, away from the Sassy. Donkeys or mules helped with the work in the fields. As we can see, there is also a pig and some hens, both of which were essential for the family's survival. The animals were kept inside the home, not only because they were valuable possessions, but also because there wasn't much room outside. The typical little squares, known as the vicinati, were areas that were shared with other families. In the stall besides the animals, we can also see a chest of drawers that was used as a bed. The mattress was filled with corn leaves. Beds here were often makeshift. In the past, families were extremely large. On average, they had about 6 to 8 children, despite the high infant mortality rate. In the middle of the house, we can see a small table with a single large plate. The table wasn't usually very big, almost symbolising the rare moments it was used by the family for their only meal of the day. If you look at the various characters around the room, you will notice that some of them represent the customs and traditions of the past. This unique world, filled with life's hardships because of the unhealthy rooms dug out of the rock, where people lived in conditions of extreme poverty, has gradually improved over the years. A law was passed to restore the Sassy in 1952, when the Cavioso and Barisano districts were completely evacuated. The Sassy have only started to come back to life again after years of abandonment, thanks to a new law, the Law of Restoration and Conservation. The Sassy gained UNESCO World Heritage status in 1993 because of the artistic and historical heritage that can be found here, as well as the uniqueness of these places. The Rizzi family would like to thank you for your visit and look forward to seeing you again in Matera.
So this cave that we're in, where people would have lived up to the 60s, it is not too dissimilar to a cave that I went into in the Atlas Mountains. A guide was showing us round, and I asked if I could look into his house, and he took us right into the mountains, and we actually went into a cave like this where his wife was, his mother-in-law and the children, and that's where I learnt to cook tagine, because she was actually cooking tagine at the time, so she showed me what to do.
If you enjoy watching our videos and would like to see more of our travels, then click on the like button and subscribe to our channel. It's free to do so. So we're inside this shop now, which used to be a grotto, obviously. It's absolutely massive. So some of it was dug out, some of it was actually built. This part we're going into now was obviously dug out. And this is Sassy in miniature. So this is what the town looks like. If you enjoy watching our videos and would like to see more of our travels, then click on the like button and subscribe to our channel. It's free to do so. Quite a big place, as you can see. And this here is showing different buildings that you will see around the town here. Obviously, looking at this one, they don't have giant birds. I hope not. I don't want to be anywhere near that one. Just going to go in here and see the chap in here actually making these parts. You can see it's made out of a solid rock. Buongiorno.
Mark's so naughty. So he's just filmed this chap making those pottery items, and there's a sign saying "Do not enter" in English as well as, I suppose, Italian. And off he goes in there. So naughty man. So we just bought another tile from our collection. Oh, another two
tiles
from 2 different shops for our little collection. So we're just looking over here and you can see all the caves right over there, and also up high as well, and even down lower. So earlier on, I was saying as we were going down the stone steps, I wonder what these bits of look like concrete were for a car, but it's actually for this end, to push these all around, carry their wares and stuff. Oh, that would be hard work, wouldn't it? Mark reckons possibly Adam and Eve. So we're going to go up here. Right over there looks like a new build. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one the Flintstones had in mind, I think.
They're actually all over. You notice how I ignore him now. I'm not sure that these cranes are part of the scenery. We seem to see a lot of them around, up, but not actually doing anything. In fact, some of them are so rusted, they look like they've been there many, many, many years.
Date back to Roman times, some of them.
I reckon. It reminds us a little bit of Chinchilla in Spain, if you look round. So, the chimneys are popping up here. So we're obviously walking on the roofs of the houses underneath.
Which is exactly what we did in Chinchilla.
It is.
If you haven't seen the video of Chinchilla and you like caves, it's definitely worth watching. It's really good.
So, just to prove that people are actually living here, there they are. They've got their washing hanging out. So we could be heading over to the really old part of town.
Or we could possibly be getting really lost.
Yeah, probably the latter.
This part of the town we're in now is obviously extremely old, but what caught my eye were these old troughs here, which were probably used to feed the animals at some point, either that or bath.
Your bath?
My bath, yeah. And then behind it looks like there was a fire pit, so you have everything you need. You can have a barbecue while you're actually sat in the bath. And
Probably put your drinks in there.
oh yeah, we've got a fridge, cool box to put your beers in. So you've got everything all in one go. I'm surprised they don't sell more of these. Hot tub, barbecue and a fridge all in one. Amazing. We mentioned the Flintstones earlier, but look at these chimney stacks here. They really do look like they did come from the Flintstones. Love those. Just seen this, which looks like a stage. I think it's where the Flintstones used to play. They used to love heavy rock.
So we've just been into earlier on a shop, or 2 shops actually, that were selling tiles and lamps and bits and pieces made out of all the rock here. And just come across this, so I've seen this quite a lot actually. So they actually build this into their brickwork, so that looks lovely.
Ventilation.
Stone Age food and drink. Stone Age. It's the Flintstones.
We've just found this property here. It looks like it is up for sale at the moment. So we're just going to have a little look around, see what we could do with it. Quite spacey. One massive room. Obviously they were the bedroom at the far end there, and the ensuite. Not sure where this hole goes down into, but it looks like it's going down into a further room, which I don't really fancy. It's got a ladder going down to it. I can only guess it's another bedroom. Fireplace. Original feature fireplace. Quite something. And not sure what this is. It could be the larder. Yeah.
So this would have been one of the places that they lived in until the 60s, when they were all moved out. So this was their home. Look at their lights. That is called steampunk.
That is steampunk.
Steampunk.
Original steampunk.
Original steampunk.
Steam powered lights.
I reckon if you want to get here before it is really, really, really touristy, get here soon, because there's a lot of building work going on all around. So obviously doing it all up, ready for all the flocks of tourists that are going to arrive. To show you where we are. More work going on down there. So we're looking at these two tall blocks here, and they're actually chimneys. So they were caves built right on the edge there. And if you look over here, you'll see there's some more chimneys as well coming out. So we're coming to the last part of the caves in the mountains. That's a brand new door on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these would have been all the houses. Obviously I'm looking up there, still people living above there. So this is what it would have been like without all those lovely tiles that they put down. Come to the very end with a big gate. So fascinating city, well worth a visit.